going on, my friends? Today I want to talk about barbecue. It's like one of the most popular topic when it comes to food. It's really warm outside, even though California, May, December, it's all the same weather. It's summer all year around. But for some of you over there in the East Coast, you don't know what barbecue is, so I'll explain. Today we're gonna talk about barbecue. Barbecue, or how in Russia we say barbecue, you know. I got two types of ribs from two different stores because this is how it works in California. You go to Whole Foods to get one type of rib, you go to mom and pop place to get another type of rib. We also got tri-tip. It's not just ribs. You gotta have more than ribs. You gotta have brisket, or if you're lazy like me, you do tri-tip, which is like the fast brisket. Now see, when it comes to ribs, some people prefer baby backs, some people prefer St. Louis. The real man in Texas prefer beef ribs, but we're not in Texas today, so we're gonna do some pork. Just a quick rinse on the St. Louis rack. Get our baby backs, and as you see right there, that cut, basically the butcher already removed the film that protects the bones, which is really nice. Real quick rinse. So let's go ahead, pat them dry real quick so there's not much water on them, like this. Kind of like when you come out of the shower, you know, you don't want to be all wet and drippy. You use the towel to dry yourself, just like this. And look at that fat right there on these St. Louis ribs. The fat is a little bit different from the baby backs. Cool. Time to start a fire. What do we have right here is an offset smoker. This is the most classic, the most original, the most traditional way to smoke your meat. You don't really have to use this. If you got those Webers, you've got your gas grill, it all works. There is no perfect way to do this. This, to me, is the classical way to actually put that flavor of smoke into the ribs. This thing in Russia we use to heat up our tea. We stick it in the water, boil the water, put some tea. But right here in America, this is great for starting coals. Check it out. Oh, a whole bag of coal. I don't know what this is, but it says charcoal, 100% natural. That's all I need to know. That's enough. Most of the time, when you go to the butcher, they will probably have already really well trimmed ribs. But I see some things that can definitely use some more. This part right here, I like to trim it off because it'll burn. It hangs there and it's useless. You need to cut it off. You don't have to throw it away. You can still cook it with some beans, like a true cowboy, give it a flavor, but some of this fat can definitely go. The thing is, you don't want any of the pieces hanging. You just want a perfect slab, perfect square, perfect rectangle. So the first thing we're gonna do is to throw a little bit of salt and pepper. In fact, in Texas, that is all they use. And of course, the black pepper. You want to put plenty of black pepper because there's no such thing as not enough black pepper or too much black pepper. Went to my local shop and got me some magic powders. These things will take your ribs to the next level. Check this out. Very simple. Go to any of your local stores, look in your spices area. You're gonna find paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne, mustard powder, coriander, and cumin, a little bit of curry, and brown sugar. Now this stuff you gotta be careful with. This is cayenne. Cayenne's really spicy. Some people don't like very hot foods, so you just want to use just a little bit, like this. Alright, we start with granulated garlic and onion, paprika. Now, remember what I told you about the cayenne pepper. You don't want too much. Brown sugar is great because this is like a glaze. A little bit of curry. Curry is also very strong, so not too much. Same for mustard. That's perfect. Coriander and cumin. Mix it real quick. Oh, the coriander, the cumin, the paprika, the onion, the garlic, it smells so good. Now, some people like a lot of rub, some people don't. I prefer just enough to taste a little bit of it because the smoke is gonna do most of the job. So here we go. Just sprinkle it like this. These babies, all you need to do now is let them rest. Some people can overnight it, marinate it, leave it overnight, but what's the point? You got good quality wood, you got good quality meat, you're already more than halfway there. I got some wood. Got hickory, that goes good with everything. But I like beef. Tri-tip, brisket, beef ribs, hickory is great. You can use pork, it'll be fine. It just got that very, very, very solid smoke flavor. For pork, what you want to use either apple, or in my case I got peach because peach is a little bit more smooth. Apple will give that beautiful sweet taste for pork, but let's try peach. That right here. It doesn't smell like peach, but trust me. Actually, the more you smell it, yeah, I can tell there's some peach in there. No, you can't smell the food, but once the smoke starts coming, it will be the business. All we need is just one piece like this, and another one like that. And they'll start smoking here shortly. Look at that beautiful paint job. I call it the cheetah meets the tiger stripe. I usually don't rely on these things because it's never accurate. You want the temperature to be actually from like right there. Because this measures from about right here, which is always going to be hotter. But you want the true temperature right there. Water is essential because it will create moisture and cycle moisture back into the meat. Alright guys, here comes the important conversation I'm gonna have with you. Kind of like, you know, the parents talk to you when you were a kid. It's very serious. Temperature and ribs. Temperature and barbecue, period, is the most important thing. My favorite temperature is between 250 and 275. For this I got this super cheap, like, I don't know, 30 bucks? $30 for this remote guy and the temperature with the needle. Check it out. Now look at that smoke already coming. It hasn't even been 5 minutes yet, but it's already beautiful. So you put the needle like around here. Look at this magical. You put it right there and it goes whoop. This guy right here should be between 250 and 275. 280 is alright, but don't go beyond 300. This guy, I can sit in my living room, sip on the cold one and be like, check it out, I got the temperature. Some cool people have apps for their smartphones where this thing will let them know by text messaging on Facebook that it's too hot. Then people like it and then you go and change it. It's so awesome. Technology these days. St. Louis. Oh, listen to that sear sound. Just like in those barbecue competitions you watch on TV when they put those ribs on the cage. Just like that. But guys, most importantly, always check your temperature. Because look at this. We just opened and we already lost a lot. In the words of a famous barbecue magician, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. Look 'em up. So, in about 40 minutes, no less, you can take a look. Alright guys, 1 hour later, our temperature is at 255 and I got some beautiful apple juice. That's all you need, just apple juice. Some people actually do apple cider, but I like apple juice. I haven't opened it yet for 1 hour, check it out. Oh, look at that. As the smoke gets to them, the moisture goes away. Even though we got our water, apple juice will give it some nice sweetness. Don't forget to feed your beast. 2 hours. Guess what we need? Just a little bit of that apple juice. Juice onto the crust, creating and donating to the smoke ring that we will show you when it's almost done. Nighttime. What does the nighttime mean? It means that 3 hours went by like that. Beautifully caramelized ribs. Let's take them on the tray. And this is not over. This is just the beginning. What you gotta do now is finish them. And by finishing, I mean grab some aluminum foil. Let's talk about the barbecue sauce. This conversation can probably stretch out for 20 episodes. I can show you which one is the best, but there's no such thing as the best barbecue sauce. What you gotta do is you gotta use your favorite barbecue sauce. So we're gonna take our ribs, and basically we just need to put some of that sauce on the ribs, like that. Bam, on both sides. Just like that. And another hour in a 250-degree oven. 1 hour later, the oven, the towel, let's take them out. That caramelization, that sauce, that fat rendered perfectly. We'll cut them like this. Now check this out. That right there is a smoke ring. Look at that juice. Oh, the smell. Guys, Emerald always said one day we'll get the smell-o-vision so you all can smell this. Look at that. You don't even need to bite too much into it. All you have to do is just go like this. And the rib comes off. Oh, the smell of peach wood. The rub. The garlic and the onion. It comes in. Let's see what we got with St. Louis. That is your typical St. Louis. Look at that smoke ring and look at that sauce. Not too much sauce, but just enough. This just melts. You put it in your mouth and it just melts. Oh my God. Which one is better? Baby back or St. Louis? I think together is the best one. Now guys, thank you for joining us today. This has been a beautiful night. I have a lot of awesome stuff to munch on. Please subscribe, please like the video. A lot more recipes coming. Thank you.